Hello, welcome back to today's edition of the 410 Sports Talk with your host, Adrian. I'm here today. We got some good stuff going on today to talk about. I want to get into the NBA a little bit. We don't talk about the NBA right now with everything that's going on with the NFL, but I'm a hooper, so we definitely going to touch with some NBA news and catch up on yesterday's action. I got a little thrown off yesterday. We had a snowstorm, so I forgot to give you a pick. Luckily, I didn't give you a pick because I did not know Karl Anthony Towns wasn't playing last night, and so New York ended up not covering. Obviously, they took the L, so that would have been one of the picks that I had last night. Everything else was good, but that would have threw you off if you had a parlay. All right, let's get into last night's action. First up, we had Portland going against Detroit at home. Portland rebuilding after trading Damian Lillard away. They have a lot to look forward to as far as picks are concerned. They have some young talent, but they're definitely struggling to keep up with some of the stronger teams out west. Detroit, up and coming, very strong, up and coming young team. They've been playing really well. Detroit was able to win this game 118 to 115 behind Cade Cunningham, There's 32 points, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds. He's been playing well. This actually puts Detroit over 500 for the first time since 2019 after New Year's. All right, next up we have Phoenix going against Philly at home. No Joel Embiid for this game. Phoenix been making some adjustments. They had Bradley Beal come off the bench for this game. It looks like it worked out well for them. They end up winning this game 109-99 behind Kevin Durant's 23 points, 5 assists, and 6 rebounds. Bradley Beal chipped in, like I said, coming off the bench, 25 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. On the losing end, Tyrese Maxey trying to hold the fort down for Philly. He's definitely a great point guard, all-star last year. Not sure if he's going to be able to make it this year. Probably should, and holding it down since Joel Embiid hasn't been around. He ended up with 31 points and 10 assists. Next up, we have Indiana against Brooklyn. Brooklyn's been struggling all year. I think Brooklyn might be the worst ran organization in the NBA. They made some really bad trades, really bad moves that set them back some years, so it's not really surprising that they haven't been doing that well. They were led behind Tyrese Halliburton's 23 points, 8 assists, and 2 rebounds. You know, he likes to push the pace. You know, I'm a point guard, so, you know, I watch that point guard play, and he's the reason why they are definitely playing really well. You know, last year they were a tough out in the playoffs, and I feel like they'll be tough this year as well. Next up, we have Orlando and New York. Like I told you, this was one of the picks I had yesterday. You know, I thought New York would have been running away with the game if Karl Anthony Towns was playing, but apparently he did not play last night. I did not catch that news early on, so I apologize. Once again, I'm glad I wasn't able to put this out, or I would have threw some people off last night. But anyways, Orlando was able to win. Orlando's missing most of the stars on their team. They were led by Cole Anthony. He had 24 points, 4 assists, and 7 rebounds. He was able to hold the fort down in a losing effort for New York. Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges, I think they both had 24. Bench points was the struggle last night. Orlando had 50 points coming off the bench. New York had 18. So anytime you have that kind of discrepancy, bench points to what's on the floor starting, I mean, that's a tough to overcome for any team. So, you know, definitely New York, your bench needs to step up, especially even if Karl Anthony Towns is back. You're going to need to step up in order for y'all to make a deep run in the playoffs. Next up, we had Milwaukee, Toronto. Milwaukee, obviously, this game was one of the ones I had to pick yesterday. Toronto at home, Milwaukee won the cup. Definitely been playing really good ball after they figured it out early in the year. Damian Lillard integrating the system that they have already in place there with him and Giannis. It looks like it's been working out pretty well. Last night, they were able to win the game with no problem, 128-104. Giannis had a triple-double, light triple-double, like I like to say, at 11 points, 13 assists, 12 rebounds. Damian Lillard chipped in with the 25 points, 3 assists, and 5 rebounds. Just like I said, they're looking pretty good on the east side of things. You can have them, Boston. They're the teams that I'm looking at. They're going to be really tough to beat in the playoffs. Next up, we have San Antonio and Chicago. Of course, I love anytime there's any kind of San Antonio highlight to watch. Victor Wembanyama is much-watched TV. Anytime he's playing, I have to check him out. He does stuff that you've never seen before. Tonight, unfortunately, he wasn't able to get the W. Zach LaVine, he came through for Chicago. Him and Kobe White, they made a big push at the end of the game to finish that off, and they ended up taking the win 114 to 110 at home against San Antonio. Zach LaVine ended up with 35 points, 8 assists, 10 rebounds, 2 assists short of a triple-double there. And Wembanyama had 23, 4 assists, and 14 rebounds, which, you know, every night I feel like he should have almost 20 rebounds. You know, he's 7'5", and I mean, he think he can dunk without even jumping, so it's really crazy. Next up, we have Dallas, Memphis. This game was riddled with injuries. We talking no Ja Morant, we're talking no Luka Doncic, we're talking no Kyrie Irving, so no star power here. To no surprise, Dallas been on the slide ever since Kyrie and Luka have been out. For sure, it's tough for them to make up that kind of production. They lost last night here, 119 to 104 against the Grizzlies. Jaren Jackson Jr. was able to come through for the Grizzlies with 35 points, 5 assists, and 13 rebounds. He has a really funny shot, but it be going in all the time, I'm telling you. Next up, we have the LA Clippers against the Minnesota Timberwolves. This was probably one of the better games of the night. Kawhi Leonard, he's back in action. He chipped in with 8 points, kind of had just a couple minutes to get himself back integrated into the game. Norman Powell's been holding things down for the Clippers, making them really competitive while he's been out. I think Norman Powell actually probably will end up making the All-Star team. He should be at least considered for the All-Star team this year. Ant-Man, of course, on the other end. I love his game. Sometimes I feel like he can get a little frustrated with what's going on around him. I think he should just stay the course, just keep doing him, keep getting better. But he's really made leaps and bounds since he's been in the league. Last night, Ant had 37 points, 8 assists, and 7 rebounds. He hit a 3 at the end of the game in the fourth quarter, crunch time. They kind of ice things, you know how he does. He talks a little bit when he does what he does. So you can talk when you can back it up. So he was able to pull this thing off for him. 108, 106, really good game. Last up, last night, you had the Sacramento Kings against the Miami Heat. Miami, obviously, without Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler said he wants out. He's not feeling it anymore down there. So Pat Riley, being the man he is, they went ahead, they suspended him for 7 games. Looks like they're looking to figure out what kind of trade arrangement they can make for Jimmy that's going to work for them, get him somewhere where he's going to be in a better space. Meantime, they still got ball to play down there in Miami. They're going to take some L's without Jimmy and any replacement for Jimmy right now. And that's what they did last night. Sacramento, on the other hand, they changed coaches here. Mike Brown is out. Doug Christie in. Doug Christie has kind of pushed the pace, encouraged them to up the pace and keep it, I guess, a little bit more free-flowing out there, and that seems to be working. They're on a little bit of a win streak here. I think they up to 5-game winning streak. And, you know, last night, DeMar DeRozan had 30 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. Tyler Hero had 26 points, 4 assists, and 7 rebounds. So that's your NBA recap. I'm going to be sure to try to get into that a little bit more as we're moving forward, but we're going to get back into some Raven topics here. Please like, subscribe. I hope you like what I'm bringing to the table.